Hi guys, welcome back to the Pixie Broadcast. This is your host Diamond. I'm back again with another video. If you are new to the pod and to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you can be notified for whenever I drop a new video. And if you're oldie but a goodie, welcome back. And everything going to be down below as far as like personal Instagrams and the pod Instagram. So just hit those links down below and show me some love. I do follow back, but I am on Instagram at the.pixiepodcast, and my personal is Diamond Planet with 2 underscores. And I'm also streaming on Apple and Spotify at the Pixie Podcast. So let's get right into it. So you guys, as you guys can see from the title of this video, we will be talking about setting boundaries. So most of us have them, some of us don't. And if you don't have any set for yourself, I hate that for you. But by the end of this video, you will be that girl. You're going to have them. You're going to have them. You're going to be that girl, and nobody's going to mess with you. Okay? So y'all know me. I got my notes right here. So if you see me looking down, that is why, but I'm here. So setting boundaries for yourself, we think of, well, for me, when I think of setting boundaries, I go to think that it's a way to show people how to treat you. And as crazy as it sounds, because we're adults and at our big age, why are we teaching people how to treat us? It's reality, because sometimes you got people who don't even know how to treat themselves. So you have to be able to teach people how to treat you, because a lot of people you run across don't even know how to treat themselves, so they're not going to know how to treat others. So yeah, so what is setting boundaries? Boundaries is creating rules and limits of how you would like to be treated, right? It tells people how to treat you. They let people know what is and isn't okay, acceptable. And setting boundaries honors our needs and wants so that we feel safe and, most importantly, respected. And I feel like that's just basically what it is, to be honest. Like, it's all about respect. Setting boundaries for yourself and setting standards is basically having respect for yourself and showing people that, hey, I set this bar for myself and I'm not going to lower it for you. It's just going to get higher and higher. And in this world now, we have to, especially when it comes to relationships and friendships. So yeah, so I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to have healthy boundaries. So the first one is being able to say no. So a lot of the times we think that saying no, a lot of people think that saying no is being mean. Like, I get that all the time. But if I don't want to accept something that doesn't align with my spirit, I'm not going to. And if it's crossing a certain limit that doesn't align with my spirit, I'm going to say no. I'm not going to accept it. So it doesn't make you a bad person to say no. And I think a lot of the times I've been in a place where I felt bad for saying no, and it was to someone that I really loved a lot, but it was not only for their good, but it was for my good too, because it was just basically setting that standard and setting that boundary and saying like, hey, like, I've done enough, and it's time for you to do for yourself. You know what I mean? And just having that access to you as well. So yeah, it doesn't make you a bad person. It's okay to say no. You don't have to say yes all the time. It's okay to say no. I'm sorry. Being able to accept no is also knowing when to not cross the line with others, because sometimes I think this one is hard for people to understand too, because a lot of the times you can say, it's easy for us to say no, right? But when someone else say no to us, we get offended. For me, I know that everybody has boundaries, and you know those people that have them, and you know how they set that limit for themselves, and it doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make them rude or mean and all the other stuff, but everybody don't have standards, and some people do, and you have to respect that when it comes to other people. If you run across someone that have it, and if they say no, you can't just ease your way into them or try to manipulate them or try to gaslight them or get them to go against their grain or go against their standards and their morals. So that's another thing, especially if you don't want it done to yourself. Clear communication on both wants and needs. So when you meet people, be clear. Like, just literally setting that standard. And this comes for like relationships. When you run across a guy and he want to play the field and he want to have multiple females, and not even a guy, he's a dusty. Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about the dusties. So you have these dusty men that want to come across these good women and think they're going to allow anything. put your foot down and let him know, no, I'm not going to accept that. Because if you have to choose between me or that chick, choose her, because I don't want this. So there's better out there. There's other things out there for me. And if this is not for me, then it has to go. We're going to pack the trash up and we putting outside the door, and we're going to take it out to the trash in the morning. We're going to put it in the dumpster in the morning. So it's just setting those clear standards, setting that clear communication of letting people know, even with friendships. If you have a friend that constantly dig themselves into holes where they got to borrow money all the time, hey, you don't have that access to me anymore. You know that you have XYZ coming up. You need to do your overtime. You need to work. You need to get a job. You need to get a stable job. No, I can't do that. You don't have that access to my wallet. I'm not your mother. Right? So just clear communication skills, or even things where people say something out of line to you, say, hey, I don't like that. Don't talk to me that way. Doesn't make you a bad person. Respecting others' needs and wants and your own, and honoring it as well. Feeling free to disclose information where appropriate is not sneaky. And a lot of times people say that, okay, this goes for when I'm talking about disclosing information. I'm talking about when it comes, this is like a personal boundary, and you come across people who will literally ask questions, and they want more information. And it's okay if someone come to you, like I've had people, and I think it's not like an older people thing. I'm not trying to knock older people, but it comes a time where you come across people that literally ask questions where they feel like they're entitled to know your information. I get it all the time at work. And the first thing I say is, you don't have the authority to ask me that, because it's none of your business. So if you ask me something and I give you that outline and I don't dig deep, it's not for you to keep digging deeper. And then you have people that's going to go behind you and try to talk to people that you're cool with or you're friends with to try to find out information. And even set that with your friends. Hey, don't be telling my business. Hey, don't be doing this. Hey, don't be doing that. It's okay to not, open up and feel like you have to tell all of your business. And that's like a personal thing. Like, you don't have to overshare. And it don't make you sneaky. A lot of times people say that people think that that's being sneaky, and it's really not. It's none of your business. And that's a personal boundary. Physical contact is someone touching you. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a story. It's a person at work. It's an older lady, and this is for people that don't mean any harm by it. This woman did not mean any harm by it. Sweetest lady you could ever meet, and she's a very touchy lady. That's just how having conversations with her is basically, that's how she was raised. And she give compliments and everything. So she gave a compliment to an individual, and she called them cute. She said, "You're such a cutie." They took her to HR, and she wasn't very happy about that. And she didn't mean any harm by it, because that's just her spirit. Then you have other people who feel like they just get too touchy with you, or they feel like they can grope you a certain way, or they can touch you. Hey, I don't like that, because a lot of the times people don't like to be touched. And I have a sister. My sister does not like. She don't even like people breath being in her space, and that's just her boundary, her physical touching boundary. She don't like that. She don't like when people touch her. She don't like when you're too close in her space, where she's smelling your breath. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just what she set for herself. She don't like that. And same thing with me. I don't like being touched by strangers, or just being overly like being touched in a way of, like, say for instance, a hug, where you're giving a hug and someone hug you around your waist, or something like that, as far as like being a stranger and I don't know you. Just giving proper hugs, or proper touching techniques when it comes to, I don't know if I'm making sense, but proper, just knowing your limit to touching people. Don't be touching people and groping and doing all that. Like, know your limits. And it's creepy. It's real creepy. Don't do that. Verbal interactions, that's another thing. Talking down on people. Sometimes you have people like, and I think it's from friends too. Friends be doing this, and then you got family members who be trying to talk down or think they can put you in your place. And sometimes, especially as an adult, you don't have to allow that. You don't have to allow people to talk to you a certain way. You can say, hey, I'm not a child. Like, it's certain things you can say to me, and that's not one of them. And we're not going to, you can end conversations. I end it all the time if I feel like I'm being disrespected in a way, or I'm not liking what how I'm being talked to. Because a lot of times people do try to talk down to you as if you don't know much, or if you're beneath them, if they're in a certain position at work, or any of those things. Hey, this conversation's over. We're not going to have it, because I don't like, this is not going anywhere. Another thing, personal space, we talked about that. Home. This is home. Like, you can't just show up to people's houses whenever you want to. And for me, I set that boundary. If you do not call me, or you do not let me know that you're on the way, you're going to be sitting at the door knocking until you decide to leave. And that's disrespect, because you don't know what people is doing. You don't know if people want you in your space. You don't know what people have going on. Sometimes people don't want to be around people, and to just openly show up to someone's home, their private home, and just insert yourself into their space, that's so disrespectful. And I think family does it a lot. Friends do it too, but you got to know your boundary when it comes to that. Like, for me, I call my home my sanctuary. This is my space for me to feel free, to wind down, to just be myself. And sometimes I really just don't want to have company all the time. So you got to let people know when you're coming, and you don't even have to let them know. You need to ask. Just send a little message. Hey, are you free? Hey, can I come over? And if they say no, you can't get mad at that. So I've had plenty of friends and family who get upset when they come to my house unannounced, and I turn them back around, or I just simply don't answer my phone, or I don't answer the door, because you did not ask me to come over here. And today is the day where I don't want to be bothered, and I don't have the space to entertain. And I don't know if people have that. Like, I'm sometimes I just get too, I just can't entertain people, and I can't talk. I don't want to talk. I just want to sit here and be quiet. I want to relax. I don't want to sit here and entertain company. So yeah, I'm just not gonna open the door for you, and ask before you just show up to people's houses. And so yeah, that's basically boundaries, and having healthy boundaries within your life, within your relationships, whether it's work related, home related, personal friendships, relationships as well. Just setting those boundaries for yourself, because you have to let people know that you're not just accepting to any and everything. And it's really good to have that in relationships too, because a lot of the times I think now in this world, a lot of people aren't looking for like genuine connections. And some men, and I'm talking to the homegirls, some men think that they can play with women. They can just court how many women that they want and think that's okay. And if you're seeing me, you're only going to see me. You're not going to see her, and her. And if you want to do that, then you can go do that. But leave me alone while you're doing that. And as a woman, we have to set those boundaries for ourselves, for our friendships, for our relationships, because you're the prize. Like, you are that girl, and you are the prize, and you don't have to subject yourself to shit that you do not like, or shit that does not align with your spirit. So that is all. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys got something out of this video, and I appreciate the love. Like I said, I'm gonna put all the links down below. I cannot talk. I'm gonna put all the links down below so you guys can hit them, and you guys can show some love, follow, and listen, and all that good stuff. And yeah, I follow back on the gram, so I'm a lot on there, so we be having fun. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.